Hello everyone, it's Time Issue. Welcome back to some more FTB Continuum. This is something weird that happened. I finished my recording, and normally when I finish recording, I'm like, alright, cool, played some Minecraft, had some fun, I don't want to get burnt out, so I'm going to do something else. This time I was like, let's keep going. Let's keep playing. So, I did. We have some more stuff. I don't think I showed me bringing this down here, but I brought the coke oven downstairs. As it produces coal coke, it can go straight into the blast furnace. We're getting some more steel off of that, because I have plenty of iron, but not enough steel. Or I have tons of iron ore. That's what matters. I'm actually running low on iron, but that's a problem that hopefully will be resolved. It's something I have worked on. So I said today we're not going to focus on quests, and we're not going to. I've done some stuff in a test world, and my conclusions from those tests is I cannot yet automate something that is self-sustaining. I'm really close, but there's like a few minor details that I can't yet automate. It bothers me. So we have to do a few more quests, like 2 more quests, and I can get the stuff. It's so close. Like how close I am to full automation is incredible. And by full automation, of course, I mean like self-sustaining power. That's basically it. Self-sustaining power. That was my big one. So close. It's so close. Not quite there. Actually, even if then I won't be able to get there. I'll still need to keep something stocked, but that's not the big of a deal. So today, I have some quests to show off that I have been working on in Factorio. These 4, I'll go over them in order of how cool they are. First is this block right here is a power cell. It's essentially a called those things from Ender.io that you could like combine multiple and make a multi-block. That's what these are. This is one of them. It's holding 250k RF. These have all the power, so we got tons of power. That's the first quest here. The row store the power. Requires a power cell. It also required me to make a wrench so I can configure the sides. I actually didn't see that second quest, and I typed in wrench into the JEI. Wrench. Like, oh, it's a lot of wrenches. I'll make this one. It happened to be the right one. So got a little lucky there. Loot chest. Next. Apparently my recording stopped at some point. I didn't really feel like talking I didn't feel like talking through the whole thing again. So I made an energizer, which charges stuff. What does it charge? I made a drill. It charges my drill. There you go. Now my drill's fully charged. We tested the drill. The drill's awful. Like, look how slow this is. So slow. It's not a good drill. Gonna act as my shovel instead. Claims the loots. Got boring food. Now I'm gonna show you the test worlds I was talking about. We're gonna see how close I am to full automation. So, forestry. Boo. Weren't expecting this. We're ha. So I've been playing around with ways of auto farming because, having automatic food is like, it'd be a good thing to have. And also when you auto farm this, you can auto farm this. I'm getting ahead of myself. So, first thing I found was the forestry farm. You probably haven't touched these in forever. I know I haven't. I've actually never touched these farms. I didn't actually know how they work. So it makes a ring of soil and plants auto harvest from them. The good thing about forestry farm is it does the proper right clicking. So to harvest, it does replant instantly. It doesn't actually take any seeds. And then from there, I have an extracting conveyor belt. Extracting them, setting them up a vertical conveyor belt over these 3 drawers, with dropping conveyor belts, and it essentially sorts them where they need to go. You see the cottons being dropped into the cotton drawer. There's some corn in here. That'll get dropped into the corn drawer. Oop. Pretty straightforward. The problem with automating this right now is it requires fertilizer, which needs to be manually crafted and mined. You can make fertilizer with apatite. You don't need this. You don't need the fancy stuff. You can just use apatite and sand. I get you the fertilizer. It also takes water, which you saw I just put in a big tank of water. That's where the big tough point is right now. I currently have no method of transferring fluids. So fluid ducts take a rolling machine. Actually, no, they don't take a rolling machine. They take transfer pipes, which take a rolling machine. A rolling machine takes these advanced electron circuits, which take that whole setup of RF stuff. And you already saw transfer pipes. Those are really the only ways of transferring fluid. So all the water has to be put in here manually. You see it kind of goes through it really, really fast, especially with this. The next forestry farm, which is the more actually, I'll talk about this first. I replaced this one. I'm not doing this one, despite how cute it looks. I'm not doing this one because it takes too much water. Instead, I found the actually add-ons farmer. It's also craftable, although a little expensive. I take some gold plates, some power. So it's a bit expensive, but it works. The tricky thing about this is I really only trust it with a single crop. The reason being, it doesn't do it as nicely as this one does. It actually breaks the crop and replants it. When it breaks it, it puts all of the crop into this left side, which is the seeds side. It doesn't output from here. So if I try to do this in corn, eventually it'll only be planting corn because corn will be in this slot and this is where it pulls from. So it's going to harvest soybean and replant to corn. So that doesn't work. So I need 3 of these to do all my crop farming. Bit annoying, but it's actually doable because all this takes is power. It doesn't take appetite or water. And I just have worms, 3x3 grid of worms to do all of the thing. The way I get power now is a tree farm. So trees produce wood, which goes into a coal generator. Obvious enough. So forestry has the arboretum, which is a tree farmer. It also takes water and fertilizer. Does not take nearly as much water though. This should last like a decent amount of time, but it still takes water. So it won't be automated. Also, the fact that it uses fertilizer means it won't be automated. But it does harvest trees, gives me apples and wood. And through an extracting conveyor belt, comes up here, does the same thing, where it goes across apples, logs, and saplings. There's also this third chest because sometimes you get sand back from this. So if I get anything else, it'll end up in here. So it has to feed itself also. So the logs go into this hopper here, which goes into the coal generator, producing power for the arboretum. So it's self-sustaining for power. The saplings go down into a hopper, go into this basic drawer, downgraded with the storage downgrade, reducing its size to a single stack, and another hopper. So 11 stacks of saplings will go into this, and then it'll start backing up into here. Those feed that. Again, this doesn't have automatic water, doesn't have automatic fertilizer, but it doesn't go through it that fast, so it's pretty darn good in terms of auto farming. And if anything, I get massive amounts of wood, so when it does stop working, I'll have a decent supply of wood just to keep. The power from this will then power, oh, shows me leaves, 3 farmers, which will be doing all my harvesting of soybeans, corn, and cotton. Cotton and the soybeans, or probably cotton and corn, will be combined to make fruit trap or veggie bait, go into traps to get pork, eggs, and through all of those things, I have the Southern style breakfast, which is my method of food. So, the end. And also it gives me power, which is nice. That's the plan. How easy that plan is, I don't quite know. How much space I have for that, I don't quite know. We're gonna do that. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun times. So, I have made both the farms. So, I've almost made this one. Now I've made that. Now I've made both the farms. Next thing we gotta look at is how we're gonna transfer power. So, at some point, we gotta get into this quest. We can do a Monty Python's Flying Circuit, which is covered cable, which is insulated copper cable. To make an insulated copper cable, you need latex, which is that thing I was mentioning before from the tree fluid extractor made a while back. I don't really feel like setting it up right now, so we're not gonna. The other option is we use regular old leadstone cables. And I thought maybe look at some of the other ones. Thin cable. Oh, the other thing. 1 copper cable, half a bucket of latex, and 1 copper ingot. Copper ingot becomes 2 wire. Becomes 1 cable. This is a whole ingot, a single cable. Just So instead, we have other options. Those other options are here in this stuff. Glass fiber cables. This is the basic glass fiber cable recipe. It's unmodified, actually. Glass around, a diamond in the middle, and redstone on the side. That's expensive for diamonds. However, this isn't. This uses rubies. And I happen to have 67 rubies. I don't have more rubies because I kind of stopped mining them because I was tired of mining rubies. They're pretty easy to find. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, 1 ruby can become 3 glass fiber cables with enough glass and redstone. I have quite a few in here. So I just built up some glass. We're gonna make glass fiber cables. I just did a bunch of sand mining, so I have sand right now. So out for sand into glass. It's a little bit of redstone, but not as much as the leadstone cables do. But I will test these first. I'm not just gonna make a ton of them and assume they're great. I'm gonna test it with just 1, and we should have enough glass here in a second. Cool. The glass fiber cables. Do they connect to these? They do connect straight to that. Transfer rate is 32k FE per tick here in 6. So these are the highest tier of industrial craft cable. It's not like we're losing efficiency. These are the best industrial craft cables there are. And in my opinion, they are also the cheapest. Not sure whose decision that was, but you know, I like glass fiber cables. I like the other cables too. The other cables look nicer, but glass fiber cables, always cool. So let's try it out. How do I try this out? Yeah, look at the sawmill. Sawmill off here. Over here. Oh yeah, it maintained maintains its charge. Let's break the cable. Use up the charge. Logs. And let's see if it works, I guess. It now no longer has charge. Fiber cable says it now has charge. Yeah. I'm not sure what the FE per tick means in terms of RF. Everything else in this pack uses RF. But I haven't really run into power transfer rate limitations yet. So I'm going to say probably good enough for what I need. Oh, let's make some glass fiber cables. Rubies, let's go. Will this cover it? No. Enough to start though. Then I gotta find a place to put down these farms and get something set up. I did say when we first started that I wanted this layout here. Let me get up in the sky. What we got around this base, we have kind of this big hill right here, kind of in a mountain range. There's the big main mountain, which I'm inside right now, doing my stuff. There's this mountain over here. Is a decent distance away, but kind of close enough. There's actually a hill right there I didn't really notice before. And there's also this one on the side. So I said early on that what I wanted to do was use these side hills as stuff that I don't need direct access to, such as farms, auto farms, stuff like that. The big thing then is how to get the items back and forth. I don't really have anything for that yet. You do have ender chests. Which gold chests. Ridiculously expensive. 8 gold, 8 silver, 8 iron, 8 copper, 8 logs. 12 logs. Bit expensive. Use an EFAB with resonant ender. Okay. A little more expensive. That might not be an option. So I don't know. We'll probably just end up setting up somewhere here. It might take this top space. Might be where the tree farm goes. for specific reasons I'll mention later. We'll probably put the farms probably just out somewhere. We won't go on this floor because this is the workshop floor for all of the like workshop stuff I need, like random machines and power, that kind of thing. But we'll go here. I might go down one floor below this potentially. I don't quite know yet. We'll figure it out and we'll start mining. Not with the drill because the drill's bad. All right. A little bit of work done. I've decided that the tree farm's going to go on the very top of the base here, so we're just right in the roof. I simplified the design a tiny bit, moved all the barrels down a block so they're not so high up in the air. That way when I come up my elevator, I can have access to all of the things. I made 2 void upgrades, so if we start overflowing on apples or logs, everything will back up and they won't just fly off the edge. So I think I got everything. I made the fertilizer from the what's it called? Oh man, what's that called? Made the fertilizer from the appetite. Got some saplings in here. There's a hopper here, ready to pull saplings out of this drawer when they drop in. And something else I've done is I added some brownstone chisels blocks to block the dirt. This will actually prevent it from planting more saplings, so that it'll only use this one row. And I did that in testing too with just some blocks of wool. I think this looks nicer. You can actually walk over it. And I found that just having the one row makes it run a lot more efficiently. It doesn't use up supplies as much, but it still maintains a net positive of wood. So all I need to do to start it up is really place down this hopper. I'm going to drain wood from this chest, drop it in the coal generator. And down underneath there, I have a glass fiber cable, which will direct power straight into the Arboretum. Oh. First thing it's going to do, of course, is place all of the humus. And there's no place for the dirt to go. I actually didn't think the dirt ended up over here. I thought it would just like say, I gotta use that. It is, of course, placing it underneath the slabs. It just can't put a sapling there. So I originally tried putting like a different block in those places, but it just broke the block and put dirt there. So that's not ideal. And I have a water tank in here. I was going to use water cells, but then I realized this is 16 water cells and it cost 4 tin for this. This is free. It's half as much, but it's free. Free to refill. We'll see how it ends up being. I'm placing all of them. This part's going to take a little while just because there's a lot of blocks in this. It's doing 3 at a time, but still, they're going kind of slow. You can kind of see it on the minimap. That's enough. Fine. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. 3 more. 3 more. 2 more. Oh, maybe one over there. Oh, it doesn't care about these. Is that out of dirt? That's not out of dirt. I guess it's just decided that planting saplings was more important. Hey, it finished. Let's just go around planting all the saplings. And a nice little ring. How are we doing in terms of... 8 logs do that? Easy. Am I out of saplings already? I'm not out of saplings, it's just going slow. Used up a ton of water though. Wait. What else happens? Oh, you know what? I do that. That's right. Okay. Problem solved. It was just because this actually does use north, south, east, west for all the slots. So we just need to put them all there. And it's running. That's it. Let's grab some bone meal and see if we can get it showing off what it can do. Crap, while I was down here. That's fine. Oh, the tree. did successfully grow a tree. Oh, big tree. Dropped it down. The dropping conveyor belt's back there. And we're getting a income of logs. I'm also going to put some cobblestone in here to buffer out the hopper. 64 in there, 64 in there, the rest are in the door. If I need extra space, I can remove that, but I don't think I'm going to need that much space. There we go. There is the tree farm. Of course, I need to keep the fertilizer stocked. I need to keep the water stocked. Yeah, just use these. I don't need them. But that's pretty easy, and it'll just give me logs. That simple. Right now, I think it's... Oh, actually, you know what's happening. I know what's happening here. Glass fiber cables do this weird thing where they actually... they will take any energy that's given to them, even if it has no place to go. I noticed that in my testing. I actually might not use them because of that. So you can see right now, the Arboreum is max on energy. It's got 2.3 K RF up there. The coal generator has no energy. All its energy is being used right away. And the cable underneath, oh, is actually filling up. Okay, never mind. Never mind. It could just be the cable's filling up. The cable has more energy it can store than the generator does. That's great. Once the cables all fill, you should see the generator start to fill up. And this cable I can then run to stuff in the base. Is super confined now. Doesn't have any power because I actually ran a glass fiber cable all the way down here. And they do this thing where they flick back and forth between two power levels. Not sure what that's about, but in general, eventually they will start, each individual cable will start building up its own power. I think. I don't know. It's... These cables are wacky. I might change them out for something else. But it's working. We now have self-regenerating power for the most part. I still have to keep it supplied with fertilizer and water, which I am doing. I'll get a few more tanks up here, and then just swap out the tanks when they empty. But that's it. Okay, can I... Oh. Snap. I don't have filters. I can't filter out water tank. Yeah, I can't. That get really complicated. The next thing we're going to be doing is going into the covered cable and the Monty Python's flying circuit. We're going to unlock a whole bunch of machines we could do. We'll finally be able to do liquid transfer instead of just item transfer, which we have now. But my challenge here that I was giving myself was kind of to do as much as I could before getting liquid transfer, essentially. And I think we did pretty good. Got all this stuff building up. Saplings still have a little bit more to fill in. And got 8 apples. So, successful day. Until next time, thank you for watching as always. Bye-bye.